Hi guys, I'm Mr. Razor and welcome to my channel. And welcome to that huge drop-off, school supply drop-off video. In this video, I will be showing you guys, well first, as I promised from the week 10 video, I will be showing you guys first how the pile of new supplies that I bought looked after I bought the last week of supplies. And then after that, I'll be showing you guys clips of how I put together everything from all of the supplies that I collected from donations, both used and new, in which I collected, sorted, tested, sorted, and then repackaged and are all ready to go in Ziploc bags. And then I also have all the new supplies packed in sets in a total of 100 tote bags. And I will be splitting everything in half between two schools, in which everything, I will have 50 tote bags go to one school, and then half of all of the supplies from the extras from the new supplies and also the supplies from the donations. So I'll be splitting again half and half between each school. And then I will show you guys me dropping off everything and having everything all ready to go at the school. And then since due to all of the stuff going on, there won't be like I won't be having like any shots of like kids coming to pick stuff up, because the schools will be most likely distributing them out, either having the families come to the school or actually dropping off supplies for the families at their homes. So I'll be letting the distribution process go with each school and letting them handle that. But in general, I'm glad to have been able to help as many students as I can with all these supplies. And I'm just gonna head directly to showing you guys, as I mentioned, first I'll be showing everything that after I bought all the new supplies from the week 10, and then I'll head on to showing you guys the rest of the process, donation process, and after all the package supplies and all the stuff from donations. And so let's head on right to that. Alright, so guys, as I promised, this is everything that I have bought for $1,000, well, like roughly around $1,000 for the past a total of 10 weeks. Each week I spent, again, about like more or less around $100, to a total of around here $1,000. And so this is everything. And then I'll point out now the stuff that I bought from last week. So last week was once again more of a filler week. Like week 9, I actually bought another, I think about like 80 more notebooks from Friend Meyer, because even though they were just like the regular sale price of 25 cents each, I had a coupon that if I bought $20 of school supplies, I got $5 off. So I used that. So I only paid, and then also plus my employee discount, I paid roughly, I think, about $13 for 80 notebooks, which is a really good deal. Not as a good deal as the 10 cents per notebook, but still a really good deal right there. And then for some more filler in, this is everything that I bought. I bought another 50 packs of crayons because I actually wanted to hit about 100 crayons so that I could have at least 100 bundles, making sure that they all have at least a pack of crayons in it. And then also bought another 50 packs of markers, same reason as the crayons. And also because I actually got a price match of this for only 75 cents a pack. And I bought another 50 packs of these. And so there's in total now I have 100 of the markers too, and I have 100 crayons. And then I know that over there I think I actually have more than 100 of the colored pencils. So we're good on those Crayola supplies to make at least 100 full bundles. And then whatever extra I have, I'll make some more bundles. So it will be still roughly around that 100 to 150 bundles of school supplies. And so And so though last week there was there is a really good sales on the pencil sharpeners, in which they were only 25 cents each instead of the regular sale price of 50 cents each. They were only 25 cents each, so I bought another 30 pencil sharpeners. And so that was a really good deal right there. And so overall, that is everything that I bought. And I'll skip to showing you guys how everything looks after I bundled everything up. And then depending on how much supplies that I actually do to make the full bundles, I'll probably be leaving some stuff on the side as just extra items that can be will be added to like the pile of stuff that I also got from the donations, in which will be additional items that kids can take on top of getting like a bundle of new supplies already. So I'll be making as many bundles as I can with what I have right here, and I'll be showing you guys that right now. Though actually, just before I go on, I just wanted to note that this is my first time putting together a video like this, and a lot of these shots were shot at completely different times, so please bear with me as I get through each point. I know there will be some things I mentioned which might change a little bit later on as I got more details as to the drop-off and how the distribution process would go. And also know that lots of you are probably wondering, how in the world did my $1,000 turn into $5,000? Well, I'll be explaining that after going through all the supplies I've gathered. So let's just continue on. And I'll show you guys how I organized all of these school supplies and how I got everything wrapped up and ready to be dropped off and donated. Part 1, the new supplies. So first up, let's take a look at how I got ready all of those new supplies that you just saw. I literally sat down like 2 nights in a row for hours sorting everything out into the bundles. First night, I filled up the pencil boxes, and the next night, I filled up these tote bags that I also collected from donations, full with the rest of the supplies. And so after filming the earlier week 10 review of the supplies that I bought video, after receiving more information with how the distribution would probably go due to the current circumstances with all that virus going on, I decided that it would be best to let the school handle the distribution process, as families would have to come at different times to pick up supplies, or the school would have people drop off supplies at their homes for social distancing. So instead of making extra bundles with any extra remaining supplies, I simply boxed up any remaining new supplies with that of the donated supplies that I refreshed as simply piles of extra supplies that can be distributed by what is needed by the families. I did end up making exactly 100 bundles of new supplies, with each one containing 1 pencil box filled with 6 pencils, 2 erasers, 6 pencil caps, 2 highlighters, and 6 pens of black, red, and blue, and 1 pair of scissors, and 2 glue sticks. Alongside that, each bag also included a pack of index cards, 2 notebooks, 2 folders, a pack of filler paper, a pack of crayons, a pack of markers, a pack of color pencils, a pencil sharpener, a ruler, and 2 children's masks. And these masks were generously donated by a friend of mine. And so again, most of these bundles of supplies I packaged up and put into reusable tote bags that I also collected from donations. As many families in my local neighborhood around me had extra tote bags, and so I collected them. Just like these donations of school supplies that I'll go over next. I didn't have enough for a full 100, but I'm still glad that I was able to get quite a lot, as I know many families could use those bags in their homes. Part 2, all the used and new supplies repackaged from donations. So next up, aside from the new supplies, I received a ton of boxes and bags from donations piled with all kinds of items ranging from markers, pens, pencils, colored pencils, and crayons to art supplies, workbooks, notebooks, loose leaf paper, and all kinds of stationery and school supplies out there. To gather these supplies, I actually drove around at night after my job working at QFC, my local grocery store, as a deli clerk. Almost day after day, for an hour or so each time to pick up supplies from homes in the neighborhood, or you can say a full city around me. They simply left out boxes and bags of supplies for me to pick up outside on their front door. These supplies were most of the time just, again, piles and piles of stuff thrown together in which I had to spend hours and hours picking things out and sorting everything. Unfortunately, I don't have a full before shot of all the supplies I collected from before I sorted out and organized everything, because there was just so much stuff and that I was gathering, and I was also gathering the supplies over time. So I had already started organizing one set while another set was coming in. And after that, more came in, and I just had to keep on going through it all. And so after the whole pickup process, these supplies, I went through a whole refreshing process, especially with markers and pens. I'd test each and every one of them. For color pencils, I'd sharpen all of them alongside all of the regular pencils. Then crayons, I simply sorted out all the broken ones from the not broken ones. Then with the pens and pencils, I simply repackaged them with 6 to 8 in each small Ziploc bag. Then for the markers, colored pencils, and crayons, I actually sorted them all by similar colors first, then made sets of all the colors with the full range of the rainbow, mostly, and then repackaged them in Ziploc bags. And all of the other kinds of supplies, from notebooks, notepads, workbooks, coloring books, folders, binder tabs, and a huge variety of other supplies, I just bagged them all up in sets in those Ziploc bags, all ready to go. And as I will go over in just a bit. Now, part 3. So how did all of this come to $5,000? As I know, you're all probably wondering how and why this video is labeled that I donated $5,000 of school supplies, apart from all the $1,000 of donations videos that I posted before. It's actually a pretty basic calculation. So the amount I spent was $1,028. $1,028. But the actual total worth, including the amount that I saved, the retail cost of all the supplies that I bought brand new, would have come up to around $3,874. Then adding in all of the supplies that I received from donations, that basically doubled the amount of supplies that I bought, lots of which were actually more expensive items like the binders and backpacks, and also some calculators, which easily wraps up the total retail price of everything to probably be way more than $5,000 actually. I simply added in the fact that yes, a lot of these were used supplies, but with a tons of life still left in them. So not a full double of the $3,874 worth of the stuff that I bought, but still amounting to roughly $5,000 worth of supplies. Yeah, and so there you go with that explanation. And now part 4, everything put together. To wrap up all of the supplies together, here's just a quick review of all the supplies as they are all packaged up and ready to go. So here is all the 100 tote bags full of all the brand new school supplies that used to sit right in this exact spot. I gathered a whole bunch of tote bags in which I had not enough for 100, but I know that I have at least 50 enough to drop off to the first school, in which I'll be doing today of September 18th. And then since I still have some time before I drop off to the other half of supplies to the next school, hopefully I am planning that I might be able to collect some more tote bags to replace those paper bags. So I'll be showing you guys the update to that the next day when I do drop off the supplies to that second school. But first, again, this is all the 100 tote bags. These are all full of supplies. And so inside each bag, it looks like this. Yep, so once again, yep, that's all the 100 tote bags full of supplies. And then on top of all this, I also have all the extra supplies from the new supplies. And then I also have a lot of stuff from the donations. So let's flip to that. Okay, so here I have all the supplies that I sorted, tested. Well, first I collected, and then I tested, and then sorted, and then repackaged a whole buckets of supplies of used supplies and some new supplies from donations. And so I have all of that repackaged here in Ziploc bags ready to go. And so I will be splitting all of this in half to donate half of it to one school and then half of it to another school. And so just to take a closer look at everything. First of all, these are just some extra notebooks from the new supplies. And then between the time from my last week of school supply hauls, actually there were during some clearance back to school sales, I got a really good deal on some expo markers. So these I believe were only like $1.50 a pack, so that was a really good deal. So I got some of those there to donate. And then on the side, yes, I have I think maybe like 12 to 14 backpacks. And then I have a ton of binders. So there's a whole box of binders there. I believe these are all like the 1-inch binders. But I have a whole variety of binders, but that I've sorted all in size. I have I believe 6 boxes of binders completely full here. 7, including that one. But in the back, I have a lot of the smaller binders. And then in the front, I have some more of the bigger binders. And then in the back, I have some just extra filler paper and some notebooks. And then all of these here I packaged in sets in Ziploc bags of various sorts of notebooks, folders, and notepads and all that kind of stuff. So I have all of those assorted and in Ziploc bags. And then in this box right here, I have all packaged. It's a whole bunch of various kinds of art supplies in which kids can use. So I have all of that. Again, all of this stuff is set in Ziploc bags and sets that can just be grabbed and ready to go. And then here are all the repackaged sets of colored pencils. There's it's like a whole box full of them. So I think there's almost 100. I can't remember, but around 80 or so packs of these. And then here I did the same thing, all with the markers, full of repackaged. All these markers have been tested. And I already threw out all the bad ones, and then I repackaged all the good ones. And so I think there's about 50, 60 packs in there. And then here I have a whole bunch of small packs of pens. A lot of these are brand new, but there's a whole bunch of them here. Again, I think around the 60 to 70-ish range here. And then I can't remember the exact numbers, but I have lots of packs of pencils here. I have a lot of new ones, and then I also have some that are like these, in which all the ones that were already like partially sharpened, I sharpened them nice and full to the tip, and then I replaced some of the erasers. So I have lots of pencils here which have been repurposed, and a lot of them are mostly new, so there's that. And then I have, here is just a giant box of like office supplies and school supplies. So some of them are like glue sticks and eraser, glue sticks. These are more like all the glue sticks, erasers, scissors, like binder clips, and just like small school supplies. Like, and here's some Post-its, and then some more binder clips. And there's just like various kinds of erasers and sorts. Just items, extra office supply items that I bundled up in bags. And then here on the side, I do have some pencil cases that are all ready to go, reset. A lot of those are new too on the side, but then I have some extra pencil boxes and pencil pouches there. And then here I have like, I think like 100 packs of crayons. Some of them are more new. Some of them are like, I do have some like bigger packs of like broken crayons, but then on the side, because those are still usable, of course, but then all the bigger ones that were like partially used, or a lot of them are like still like the full thing. So like about like 100 packs of those are like basically all like this. I just collected giant buckets of crayons and then sorted through all of it. Got all of the broken ones in like a set, and then I sorted like literally by all of the crayons by color, and then after sorting them all by color and then getting all the broken ones set aside, I grabbed the bag and then grabbed some of every single color and then repackaged them all up and ready to go in Ziploc bags. And I did that actually all for the colored pencils and the markers too. So there's a lot of extra supplies that can be repurposed if you just have enough. And so now I'm going to split everything in half. So now here's how it looks after I've split everything in half. Well, all the supplies, all the donations of supplies. I used a whole bunch of boxes I collected over collecting all these supplies and all the supplies that I bought to box up everything. So I have everything split in half here. So once again, for a closer look, well, first for the binders, since those are already boxed up quite nicely, since there are 7 boxes, 4 bigger boxes, 2 small boxes, so I'm gonna bring 3 big boxes to one school, and then 2 small boxes and 2 like medium-sized boxes actually to the other school. So it'll be pretty much close to half and half. And then I'll give them both a variety of some big ones and then some small ones. And then in the back there, I simply, that's the art supplies. I have the box, I just already had the bag full of art supplies inside that other box, so I just took it out. So half and half of the art supplies. And then here, I split the backpacks, so there's, I think, 7 or 8 backpacks there, and then 7 or 8 backpacks here. And then for that box of extra filler paper and notebooks, I split half there, and then half back there. And then pretty much going down the line now, I have the extra variety of notebooks and activity books, split half and half. That's the folders, notepads, notebooks, and activity books right there. And then I split all the extra brand new spiral notebooks, half there, and then half here. And then Here I have half of the crayons there, and then I believe half of the crayons here. And then half of the pencils and color pencils here. Same here, half of the pencils and then color pencils down here. And then with the office supplies and expo markers, so I have half there, half here. And then for the variety of pencil boxes and pencil pouches, I have half of it there. So that's some of it from the donations. And then for the other school, I just have like 8. I actually bought these extra ones there since there were some clearance for like only 39 cents a box. So I believe there's some 8 of those in there, in which I've split off for the other school. And then the markers and pens, I have split half. Markers, pens, and markers. So everything is nicely split in half and ready to go. One more look over everything. And so now let's get to heading off to drop off the first half supplies to the first school. Now first we loaded up 2 cars full of the supplies. 1 car filled with all the tote bags, and the other filled with the boxes of extra supplies from the donations. And again, this is only half of these supplies. And then we headed off to West Seattle Elementary to drop off these supplies. Okay, so here we are at West Seattle Elementary, and I'll be heading in now and to go connect with the people to drop off the school supplies. Now, unfortunately, we didn't really get many videos of us moving these supplies and dropping them off, but I did get some photos to show you guys. And also here's a quick word from the administrative secretary of West Seattle Elementary, who we met and helped us get all the supplies into the building.
Thank you so much, Sean, for donating all of these supplies to West Seattle Elementary School. As I was telling you earlier, we are a Title I school, so that means most of our kids are free or reduced lunch. So this really helps out our families so much, and it lets us use our budget on things like the services that they need right now as they're doing school online. We really appreciate you from the whole West Seattle Elementary School community and families here. And on behalf of the secretary, and I'm sure the principal and the vice principal feel the same way, we really appreciate you. Thank you.
And so yeah, here's all the donations. This is just half of it again, so I still have another half that I'll be dropping to the Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary. So it's well again, this is just half of it. So I'll
stay tuned for more from him, because clearly he's making a difference in our communities, and we appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
So I'd like to thank you guys for coming to check out this video. And make sure to stay tuned to my channel by subscribing with notifications on, as I will be uploading a second part to this, showing me dropping off the second half of supplies to the second school, which is Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School in Seattle. And I'd also appreciate it if you'd spread and share the word about this video to your family and friends, as every subscriber and every view that I get on my channel will help support and build my channel to become bigger and better, and help me to be able to do even more donation projects like this in the future. I really hope to be able to do this again next summer and for many summers after that. So again, I really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button down below and check out some of my other videos that include videos that range from bullet journaling, some art, drawing, and doodling, and some lettering that might inspire you and be more creative. And I also do lots of stationery giveaways to give back to my subscribers in return for your guys' support and support of my channel overall. And lastly, before I go, I want to send a quick shout out to everyone who donated to donated to this project. Every little bit helped, and as I put everything together, it became a lot. And I would also want to send out one more shout out to my local Staples in Bellevue, Washington, because that's a store that I went to every single week throughout the summer, and I hauled out a whole bunch of supplies from there, and they have very good customer service and help me out every single time. And so I just wanted to quickly note that. And once again, just overall, thank you for coming to check out this video, and stay tuned for the second half.